As a business advisor, I work with different business owners. And I can tell you this, businesses that feel stuck and they cannot scale their companies, they almost never have a sales problem. They don't even have a marketing problem. And it's almost every time is a leadership problem, specifically a delegation problem, but not that kind that you already heard about. And the worst part is that they don't even see it themselves. So today I'm going to show you the one mistake I see over and over again. And once you spot it, you can't unsee it. So here's the pattern. A business owner starts a company. They work hard and they are good at what they do. And of course, the business grows. They hire a few people, then a few more, and suddenly they are running a team. Sometimes it's 10, 15, or 20 people. And that's when things start to break. And it's not because the team is bad or the product got worse. It's because the owner is still doing everything. And it's the same way they did when it was just them and maybe one other person. They are still making every decision, still answering every question, and still solving every problem. And they think that's leadership. Here's the reality, and I say this with respect because I've been there myself as a COO. If your team can't function without you for 1 week, you don't have a business. You have a job that you own. So, what's the actual mistake here? Actually, it's not delegating decisions. And I don't mean delegating tasks. Most owners delegate tasks just fine. Handle this invoice. Call that client. Fix this problem. Actually, that's not delegation. That's assigning errands. Real delegation is when you say, here's the outcome I need. Here's the boundary you're working within. Now you decide how to get there. Do you see the difference here? One keeps your team dependent on you, the other builds leaders inside your company. I had a client, SaaS company, 12% team, and the owner hadn't taken a full day off in 2 years. When I asked him why, he said, because if I don't stay on top of everything, things fall apart. And I said, things fall apart because you've trained your team to wait for you. That made him really upset, but it was the reality. Now, if you're watching this and feeling a little called out, good. That means you're self-aware enough to fix it. And fixing it is simpler than you think. Here's what I tell every client I work with. Start with one decision this week that you normally make yourself and hand it to someone on your team. I don't mean the high stakes stuff. Start with something manageable, something small. For example, instead of approving every vendor invoice yourself, tell your ops person anything under $500, you decide. Here's the criteria. You own it. That's it. One boundary, one outcome, one handoff. Give them the outcome you want, give them the boundaries, and then this is the hard part. A step back. Let them decide. Let them even get it slightly wrong. Because here's what happens. When you do this consistently, your team starts thinking like owners and they start solving problems before they reach your desk. And you go from being the bottleneck to being the architect. That's the shift. You change your position from being the firefighter to an architect. And that's when your business actually scales. So let me ask you this. What is one decision you've been holding on to? And who on your team could own it? Starting this week. Comment them down below for me. And if you're a business owner who feels stuck, like you've built something real, but you're trapped inside it, that's exactly what I help people work through. You can contact me using the link in the description. I'll see you in the next one.